Yes is the short answer to the question, can INFJs be intimidating? Of course, this is dependent on the INFJ in question, as well as what someone else finds overwhelming. Some people may be put off by INFJ's proclivity for people watching. Others may find the way their minds work daunting, or they may be intimidated by their instinct for figuring out other people. In some situations, being intimidating might be advantageous. Unfortunately for INFJs, it appears that they come across as unsettling more often when they don't mean to than when they do. I'm sure all the INFJs watching this video here are thinking, me? Intimidating? Yes, people can find you very intimidating, but why is that exactly? Make sure to watch till the end of this video, because today I'm going to tell you the 7 reasons why INFJs come off so intimidating. And hey, even if you're not an INFJ, make sure to stay tuned till the end of this video, because I think it's time you let some of these stereotypes go. In fact, INFJs are one of the kindest people once you actually get to know them. Let's get into it. Welcome to Success for Breakfast, where I'm serving up brain food made simple. Hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos created to give you the tools to level up your life. Starting things off for us today is INFJs usually never talk. Introverted intuition is the most dominating cognitive function of an INFJ. As a result, they are usually immersed in their own little world. In fact, they're so engrossed in their thoughts that sometimes they lose touch with reality, and they end up coming across as really quiet. Even though an INFJ is one of the kindest people you'll ever meet, they don't converse much due to their introverted intuition. And the majority of the time, they have a very stern and intense expression on their face. People are intimidated by INFJs because of their demeanor and the fact that they barely speak. Let's be honest, most people feel more at ease with someone who talks a lot and is open about everything. On the other hand, when someone barely speaks, they appear mysterious. As a result, no one knows what they're thinking or what they might do, and a lot of people can get quite intimidated by that. Next up in number 6 is INFJs listen very intently. As an INFJ, I'm sure you're thinking, well, what's wrong with listening intently? Why are people afraid of me because I listen? That's because when people speak to you, they feel seen. When people talk to each other, they usually talk about whatever they want and can simply lie or exaggerate. This is because they believe the other person isn't intelligent enough to detect them lying. But it's a whole different story for INFJs. When someone speaks to an INFJ, they pay extremely close attention. Not only that, but they maintain eye contact with them. And that makes people feel threatened, especially if they are lying. The thing liars are most afraid of is people discovering their deception. That's why talking to INFJs might be daunting for those types of people who like to embellish or are simply out to deceive. Number 5 on why INFJs can be intimidating is INFJs are pretty much always right. As an INFJ, you may be able to relate to this. Have you ever met someone who everyone loves, but you have a nagging feeling about, and it turns out that your intuition was absolutely correct? I believe that almost all INFJs have been in this predicament at some point in their lives. That's because INFJs are almost always right when it comes to people. That is something that can really take people off guard. But where does it originate from? As I've previously said, INFJs pay close attention. This isn't limited to just listening. INFJs pay close attention to everything about everything, from their body language, where they look, and the inflection in their voices. As a result, when they make an assumption about someone, it usually turns out to be correct. And of course, for a lot of people, this might be rather unsettling. Next up in number 4 today is INFJs are very private. INFJs, as I previously stated, rarely speak. As a result, their entire personality and thoughts are a mystery to everyone around them. When someone communicates a lot, people usually feel at ease around them. You know what they're thinking because you actually know what they're thinking. You understand what's going on in their heads, and you are aware of who they are. But when it comes to INFJs, no one knows what's going on in their heads, and that is quite upsetting for many others. People get intimidated when they have no notion of what another person is thinking. They strangely feel judged, despite the fact that INFJs never critique others. What makes it even more daunting is when INFJs finally speak up, they say things that are so spot on that people are taken back. Make sure to hit that like button if you've gotten some value from this video so far. That signals YouTube that you think other people could benefit from this video too. Kicking off our top 3 reasons why INFJs can be so intimidating is INFJs are emotional detectives. There are many people who keep their sentiments and emotions disguised. It's not because they're unwilling to share them, it's typically because they don't want to bother other people or they don't like dealing with their own emotions. They are successful in front of the majority of people, however, not in front of INFJs. When it comes to an INFJ, they are emotional detectives. That implies that they can always figure out what feelings you're experiencing. People who want to hide their feelings are frequently intimidated when someone is so good at figuring them out. It's because they've spent their entire lives easily concealing their emotions. INFJs who are emotional detectives, on the other hand, bother them because they know exactly what they're feeling. In the runner-up spot is INFJs unintentionally stare at people a lot. There is one thing that INFJs do unintentionally that makes them appear strange and threatening. They find themselves looking at people a lot, and I don't simply mean when they're being spoken to. As an INFJ, I'm sure you've caught yourself staring at someone at random and felt strange about it. People notice that, and most people don't just think it's strange, in fact, it can really frighten them. Because once again, they feel seen. They're terrified and intimidated because they believe you know what they're thinking. But here's the crux of the matter. Why do INFJs behave in this way? Again, this is due to their introverted intuition. As a result, they prefer to concentrate on people's patterns and habits. INFJs are more concerned with what others do rather than what they say. That's why they pay so much attention to what people are doing. INFJs are inquisitive people who end up looking at others as a result of their inquisitiveness. As an INFJ, you might feel strange when you notice you're looking at other people, and other people will feel intimidated as well. Topping our list, and the number 1 reason INFJs can be so intimidating is INFJs are usually very calm, so any anger can be scary. It's odd that INFJs are excellent at detecting the feelings and emotions of those who prefer to keep them hidden. What makes it ironic? Because INFJs prefer to keep their own emotions and feelings secret. Even though INFJs have a lot of thoughts, they never express them. That's why INFJs appear tranquil, despite the fact that their minds are anything but. I'm sure you're all wondering how that bothers other people. That's because INFJs are normally so calm that when they eventually express their emotions, it can be terrifying for everyone around them. INFJs keep their sentiments and ideas hidden from friends and family because they prefer to avoid conflict as much as possible. But when they've had enough, they unload it all. It's as if they're exploding. And when it happens, everyone around them becomes terrified. People who have gone through that phase are forever intimidated by the INFJs around them. Are you an INFJ who has been described as intimidating? What are your experiences with being an intimidating INFJ? Make sure to tell me in the comments below. You've got this, now go get it done. Grab yourself some more brain food to help you level up your life and click on one of the videos on your screen right now.